don't know me, my name is Kazai Rashad Franklin. I'm a musician, an artist. I like to climb, I'm an adventurer. I like to write and just kind of share my thoughts through my lens, metaphorically and physically. And I just kind of want to sit and talk for a minute just about goals for this year, some things that I did last year, and kind of like how I got there, and some things I want to improve on. But into the Cedars. What does that mean for me personally, and why is that kind of like my mantra I'm taking into this year, 2022? If you don't know, this last year in November 21st, I released my first ever EP titled Into the Cedars, or just The Cedars. But The Cedars to me is an ode to my grandparents. They lived in Cedar Hill, Texas for a little bit. When I was 10 years old, their house was struck by lightning, caught on fire, and I remember that they moved in with my family for about 2 years. They eventually found a house, and it was back out in like the Cedar Hill, Duncanville area. I don't know how to explain the feeling because I was 10. I was just confused and frustrated over the fact that my grandparents legit chose to go back to the very place that scarred them, that just took a lot of their, I don't want to use the word identity, but they've been in that house for years, so it is fair to say that that house was a part of them and just the memories that were made there. But they moved back to Cedar Hill, and I was frustrated about that. But I also saw how happy they were and content they were starting their new life in their new house, and you know, grieving over what they lost, but also rejoicing over what they kept and what they had. As I got older in high school, that's what I realized. That's kind of like what my faith journey is. Just coming from a place that has built me up, made me the man I am, and there's been just a bunch of things in my life that have kind of burned me in a way, whether it's been the last name that I carry, circumstances I've been in because of that name, mistakes I have made, choices I've made. But I think it's when we choose to go back into that space that has burned us or hurt us. Like, that's what the pursuit of faith is, in my opinion. Just going back knowing that it's not going to be perfect, but you're going to make the best that you possibly can out of it, because you know that a loving Savior came and paid the ultimate price so that you can rejoice. So that's what the Cedars is. It's kind of that mindset of going into an area or a space of rejoicing. But I also believe that just like a forest, how a forest just contains so many uncertainties, I believe that when you choose the concept of just rejoicing and going to that area, it's a very gray area. When you choose to rejoice, you're going to be vulnerable, so you don't know what things might come at you that could hurt you. And I think that's kind of what my mind is, just like this forest of ideas, overthinking. So yeah, the Cedars is just kind of like a metaphor for my mind, this area of uncertainty, but joy and excitement and eagerness within that space. And I think that although the albums came out and I'm super excited and relieved about it, there's still a part of me going into this new year that's still very bashful, I guess is a good word to use. I'm not super confident even when it comes to like the promoting part, the risk-taking part, the part that kind of gets in people's face, because I've always kind of been like a background kind of guy. But now that I'm doing my own thing and I have my own interests and my own passions, I definitely see how me not learning how to be uncomfortable at a young age has kind of caught up with me now. I'm just seeing how the lack of me exercising that muscle in the past has caught up with me in a way that's very stressful. There are so many things I'm interested in besides music that I've been too either embarrassed or nervous to pursue or to like dive into. Like, music is only a sub counterpart of who I am. I also love hiking and fishing and kayaking and climbing and skiing and just off-roading. I'm a Jeep guy. Like, there's all these things. And the whole like video YouTube thing, I think a bunch of people realize that all my content I make myself. Like, all of the drum videos, that's me engineering it all, that's me filming it and editing it. I produced my whole EP with the exception of Like a Tree. Michael Havens did an incredible job mixing that thing. My friend Shannon helped with the visuals, but I did all the artwork. I did all the lyric videos. It's exciting to put those things out to the world, but I feel like because I'm also not diving or putting as much effort into those other passions and giftings that I have, I definitely feel like I'm doing myself a disservice. I remember trying the whole YouTube thing years ago when I was back in high school. I'll be honest, I definitely wasn't being myself. I was trying to like intentionally step into that YouTuber kind of mentality. Videos are pretty cringy and I took them down, but I'm actually gonna put them back up because I think it's important to see where you are now and where you've been and where you're going. I definitely don't have like a definitive plan, but in terms of like this, I just want to get back into the groove of not being afraid to just kind of like get out there and present myself. I want this to be a way where I can also tap into and share my other passions. Ever since I've been into climbing and hiking more and doing all these things that Black people and other people that look like me, the more I do these things, in which is a lack of that diversity, I just get so many questions. Just like, how do I get more comfortable doing this? How do I step into it? What do you recommend? I kind of want this to also be a resource for all things camping, hiking, climbing, all that stuff. I'm also eventually going to be starting an adventure blog where kind of I just share like what I've been learning, not only just out on the trails or on the mountains doing these things, but also just like people I know, people I've met in these spheres, because I can truly say I've experienced so much fellowship, so much relationship, and so much love from those I've encountered in my workspace, being outdoors, just the trips I've been on, the conversations I've had. I truly believe we came from nature. God birthed us into his nature. When we pull ourselves out of that, we definitely lose like a part of our innocence and a part of our childlike purity. So the blog that I'm starting, it's gonna be called Outside Exploration Project. I can't wait to share with you guys just all of the amazing ideas, projects, music, writings that I have prepared for you guys this year. Until next time, this is Rashad Franklin, and I'll see y'all next time. Goodbye.